Well, hello students. My name is Dr. Leroy Husengay, and I will be your facilitator for THE 112 Introduction to Theology through the University of Mary's Cady program. A little bit about myself. I have two positions at the University of Mary, one of which is teaching. I'm an assistant professor of theology, and the second is I work in public affairs as the director of something called the Christian Leadership Center. To learn more about the Leadership Center, you can go to clcumary.com, and to learn a little bit about more about me, I've got my own personal website, leroyhusengay.com, if you're curious. If you don't feel like going there, to either of those sites, just a little bit about me. I've been at Mary all of 1 year. Most recently, I was teaching at Wheaton College in Wheaton, Illinois, in the Chicago suburbs, and I've got my PhD in New Testament from Duke and my Master's of Divinity from Princeton Seminary. For fun, I'm very much into hiking, walleye fishing, and my life is my family, my beautiful wife Carrie, and our two munchkins, Hans, who is 4, and Miriam, who is 2. So that's me in a nutshell. In this video, I want to say a few things about the class itself and the syllabus. First of all, about the class. I am new to online teaching. I'm interested in learning more about it and becoming a very effective online teacher. But it is new to me, and I'll confess to you right up, it feels weird talking into the little green dot next to the camera on my spiffy MacBook Air. So I'm going to experiment a little bit with video and handouts and these sorts of things, and if you think there's a better way to do the videos, in terms of presentation, in terms of content, media, that sort of thing, please feel free to let me know. A little bit about myself as a professor. Normally, too, when I am lecturing in class, I feel quite free to go with the flow, react to students' questions, say what I want to say. It's a different sort of lecturing when I actually have people sitting in front of me. Here now, staring at my computer screen, I can't see how any of you are reacting to what I'm saying, or I can't field questions live. So for me at least, it will be a very different experience than teaching a traditional in-class class, and I suspect, of course, it will be very different for you whether you've taken an online class before or not. You lose that real-time interpersonal communication. What you gain is flexibility. Now, a bit more about online teaching. Already it's become apparent to me as I've prepared these online courses, this one in particular, that to be a successful online student, you have to be self-motivated. I have certain ways of evaluating you and trying to check if you're keeping up with the reading and the lectures and those sorts of things, but it's a lot harder because we're doing this online as opposed to traditionally. So you have to be a very motivated student doing the work largely on your honor if you want to succeed and grow. Now, a bit about the syllabus. So if you have the syllabus in front of you, refer to it, and if you don't, it'd be a good time to pull it up on your computer or pull out a hard copy you may have printed for yourself. Okay, basically this course is Christian Theology 101. Of course we call it 112, but it is the most basic introduction to Christian theology that I can come up with. And that's hard because Christian theology isn't a simple thing all the time. It's very complex. So what I've done is I've tried to make the course very simple. I've got you a very short book written by a very good and clear Christian theologian, Alistair McGrath, and I've tried to present, as he does, the 10 most crucial themes of Christian theology. I'm presuming that you have no knowledge of the Christian tradition or the Christian Bible, and thus I'm going to try to keep things as basic as I can. If anything, God forbid, goes over your head or you're confused about, ask a colleague, a peer in one of the discussion rooms online, or send me an email. I am always on email, pretty much. I live on it 20 hours a day. It's my job. And so I get back to people very quickly. Great. Now, if you go down to assignments, these are fairly simple. Participation. Number 1, do the required reading and watch the online lectures or read any handout lectures I deliver to you for each session. That'll be 10% of your grade. That's really hard for me to check, and I'll probably just ask you if you've done it on your honor. In the lectures, I might put keywords or goofy words and then ask you what they were, so I know that you simply watched them at some random point, like 19 minutes and 37 seconds. Right? Okay, so that's number 1, participation. Then these reflection papers, you will have 5 of these. These are not meant to be research papers. They are little essays, 250 to 500 words. That's only 1 to 2 double-spaced pages, right? 5 of these essays, 1 per session, exploring 1 core idea or doctrine discussed in the required reading for each session, or you can simply pick a question at the end of one of McGrath's chapters, which I've assigned for a given session. So either come up with your own topic sentence, your own theme, exploring a core idea or doctrine that we're discussing in a given section, or if you're not feeling inspired to do that, go to the end of one of McGrath's chapters that was assigned for a given session. So like this first session, you've got chapters 1 or 2, and just pick a question from the end of either of those chapters. These need to be well written in flawless English, and that matters very much because part of what we want to do at the University of Mary in a liberal arts setting is teach you how to be good communicators. So we're not just trying to cram facts into your head, but we're trying to teach you how to analyze material, think critically about material, and then present in a clear and lucid fashion, either orally or in writing, what you think about things, right? To be educated in the liberal arts means to be trained so that you can participate as a free man or woman in the life of the polis. That's why we call it liberal arts. Liberal here has nothing to do with politics. It comes from the Latin word liberus, libera, liberum, meaning free, and the arts are things like speaking and writing and thinking effectively to free your mind so you can know things about the world and about society and about human beings so that you can be a contributing citizen to the life of the polis. The polis, of course, the ancient Greek city-state, like a metropolis in our language. Okay, enough about that. End of mini lecture. Anyway, 5 of these, 1 for each session, 10% each, 50% of your total grade. These are due Saturday night, no later. I've set that up so that you cannot work on Sundays because you need to take a break, whether you're a Christian or not. You really need to take a break, and so the assignments are due 11:59 p.m. Saturday, and then I make the new stuff available Monday mornings, leaving your Sundays free. Okay, 5 of those. Number 3, you will do a final exam. This will be done online. I've already set it up. I'll make it available to you later. And it is open book and open note. So that is meant to be incentive to do your reading. Open up the book and open up your notes when you take this exam, and then you can look stuff up. You don't have to know everything cold. I think that's good pedagogy, right? There's certain things in life human beings simply need to know cold no matter what they're doing. You don't want to stop and look something up all the time. On the other hand, effective learning is also knowing where to find answers and how to think about answers, not merely knowing a few facts cold. So for those reasons, I've made the exam open book and open note. It is not open neighbor, though. You need to take it on your own. So please don't sit down with a friend or two, either in person or online, and ask each other the answers. Hey, what'd you get for number 3? That sort of thing. All right, then finally, and this is certainly on your honor, number 4, I'm having you memorize the Nicene Creed. That's one of the most famous Christian creeds, one of the most famous expressions of belief coming from the 3rd and 4th centuries of Christian faith. If you're a Catholic, you recite it in Mass every Sunday already. If you're not, a Catholic, you might have recited it. And if you're not a churchgoer at all, that's fine, but it's something you should know. It really summarizes what Christian faith is, whether a person's Protestant, Catholic, Orthodox, or something else. So I'm going to have you write this out from memory on your honor, online, and send it to me. Like the final exam, this is due the last day of class, Friday, October 5th at 5 p.m. Okay, now just a word about the texts. I think I said sent you some of this in the handout as well. We're using Alistair McGrath's little book, Theology of the Basics. It's about, don't have it in front of me, but about 180 pages. Not too bad. Not too bad. There's some books out there that are 300, 500, 800 pages, and I wanted to keep it as simple as I could. So I've given you a nice, short, clear book. Another reason I like McGrath is that he has studied historical theology, and so studying theology through the ages means that he knows Catholicism as well as Protestantism. Protestants are people like Lutherans or Presbyterians or Baptists, as well as Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox Christians are found in the eastern part of the world, like Greece and Turkey, what used to be Asia Minor, Egypt, these sorts of places. Not a whole lot in the United States, except, of course, for Greek Orthodox Christians. You've all seen, of course, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. They're belongers to Orthodox Christianity. Anyway, McGrath knows all these traditions very well, and he's very fair to all of them. The world we live in has a lot of different Christians in it, and so even if a majority of you happen to be Catholics, I think it's great that he's got texts from Protestants like Martin Luther and John Calvin in his book. If you happen to be Protestant, you'll learn quite a bit about the particulars of Catholic theology as well. Okay, that said, we're also using the Catechism of the Catholic Church because it is a rich treasure trove of knowledge of the historical Christian faith. There's a lot in there that simply every Christian would believe, and there's a lot of things in there that are particular to the Catholic Christian faith. Now, of course, on one hand, UMary is a Benedictine institution that wants to welcome all people, and we do that readily, and for the purposes of this class, I don't necessarily care what you believe. If you're an agnostic or an atheist, and some of you have emailed me already and said that you are, that's just fine. But we're also a Catholic and a Christian institution, and so we'll learn quite a bit along the way about the Catholic perspective on things. Sociologically speaking, that makes sense too, because the Catholic Church is the largest body of Christian believers in the world. Officially, there's about 1.25 billion Catholics on the planet, about 300 million Eastern Orthodox Christians, and then, depending on how you count, several hundred million Protestants, evangelicals, Pentecostals. So, okay, then let's come to the Bible. You need a Bible, but I don't think I had the bookstore order one necessarily. On your syllabus, you see the preferred Bible is something called the Ignatius Bible, Second Catholic Edition, and there's the ISBN. If you don't want to buy that, that's fine. You need another Bible, such as the New American Bible, NAB for short. That's the official Catholic Bible in the United States. But some Bible that has those 7 books that Catholic Bibles have that Protestant Bibles don't. There's a difference in Bibles here. How about that? Those are called sometimes the deuterocanonical books or the Apocrypha. If you don't want to buy a Bible, go to a library. You can check one out. You can also walk into any Catholic parish and ask the secretary or the priest or whoever you find for a free copy of the Bible, and they should just give you one. Churches love to hand these things out. If for some reason you walk into a Catholic parish and they don't have a Bible to give you, or they protest in some way, let me know, for I will know the reason why and get back to you. Okay, so far so good. Scooting down a bit. Participation and expectations. Obviously you need to fulfill the requirements. If you've got an issue, if something unfortunate comes up that's going to slow you down, you're going to miss a deadline, please let me know. I can be incredibly flexible here. Just let me know. That said, I expect you to maintain adherence to all your deadlines and all policies and procedures and so on and so forth. And so if you just blow stuff off and work gets in late, I won't accept late work. See, academic honesty, none of you are going to cheat. We are confident of better things in your case, and so on and so forth. Skipping down to course communication, as we get up and running, we will use the web page more and more, the discussion boards, the forums, the fora, proper Latin plural. Also, make sure to check your UMary email account. It is university policy that you check it daily, and that's often how I will communicate to you. Even if I communicate through the message board, it comes through your email, your UMary email as well. And again, I am online way too often, each and every day, maintaining a couple websites, communicating, doing all the many things I do. So if I see your email, chances are I'll get back to you within an hour or two. I will make you a priority. Okay, then we come to the proposed course schedule, the last thing on the syllabus. Basically, you've got 3 texts there. B is short for Bible, CCC is short for the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and TTB is short for McGrath's book, Theology, the Basics. Now, a note about the Catechism. It's organized by sections, not pages. So CCC, section 87, refers to paragraph 87 of the Catechism, not page 87. No, no, no. The section numbers are the bold numbers on the left side that look like they're indicating sections or paragraphs. If you have questions about that, please email me and I can steer you right. Then, the 5 sessions for this course, this is real simple. We take McGrath's book of 10 chapters plus the preface and stuff and the epilogue and break it into 5 sessions. So this first session, I hope you read the handout, I'm rather proud of it. You get a crash course in the sources of Christian theology, and then chapters 1 and 2, wherein McGrath deals with the basic question of God and what it means to have faith. Session 2, same sort of thing. Here now we don't have the preliminary material like we did in session 1, so we just have 2 chapters, one on the Christian doctrine of creation and the Christian doctrine of Christology, fancy word for doctrine about Jesus Christ. Ology, right, means like the study of. Biology, right, sociology, psychology. Well, Christology is the study of Christ. Now you know. Session 3, same thing, a couple chapters from McGrath. Soteriology, doctrine of salvation, and pneumatology, like pneuma, spirit, the doctrine of the Holy Spirit, so on and so forth. So it's pretty straightforward. Let me say just a couple things here about the Catechism. You will notice on certain days, like the 5th session, I've given you what amounts to about 700 paragraphs. Okay, don't feel you need to start reading all of that cold. Be cheered. I've put it on the syllabus for your reference and for mine. When it comes to the Catechism, read as much as you can, skim the rest, and one of the most helpful things to do, look in the back of the Catechism where it says, in brief. At the end of each major section, there's in brief with several paragraphs, and that in brief section is meant to summarize everything that's come before. It's a good way to get oriented. Then, finally, the final exam and the Nicene Creed have to be done by policy the last week of class, Friday, October 5th. So Monday, October 1st, I'll put the stuff online that you need, and then you have to get the paper in and do the final exam and the Nicene Creed all by that Friday at 5. So you don't get the extra day and a half till Saturday at 11:59. On one hand, I'm sorry about that, but on the other hand, I'm told that's simply how the university conducts online business, that everything has to be done right by the official end of class. So my advice to you would be to get that Nicene Creed out of the way sooner than later. Then that's one last thing you have to try and cram that last week of class. Okay, that is the syllabus and a quick introduction to the course in a nutshell. Please feel free to email me or meet me on the discussion boards and tell me what you think about the class, what your expectations are, how you think I might be able to do videos better, if you find videos effective, or if you would rather just have PDFs. I'm learning here, and I appreciate your help in making me a more effective online teacher. Also, any questions you have about anything at all, email me or meet me on the discussion boards. Take care, and God bless.